Hey guys, it's April Fools, first day of April 2022. We made it to April. It doesn't feel like April out there. I've been cold and chilly all morning, but it is going to be spring. So, a few things to talk about today. I want to bring y'all up to date in some organizational changes that have taken place. Back on March the 11th, I told y'all about a change that we were doing organizationally around what we used to call Sweet B over in Hartsville. Very active over the last year or so with the monoclonal antibody infusions. Well, they have been doing IV therapy for quite a while. And now, as we are beginning to relax, have a little bit less COVID on our plates and thus less demand for monoclonal antibody infusions, they're able to get back and do a bit more of IV therapy. Um, and like I said, in back when we first introduced this, they are quite different from normal primary care. So we have made an organizational change that I told you about. John Douglas, Chief of Business Development, is over that activity and service, and it is now called Care Fusion. So that's been one that's kind of been in the planning stages. But join me in welcoming another person to an organizational change. We have created a division of programmatic fidelity. What that is we have so much going on at Care South programmatically through grants and other actions, MOAs, what have you, that frankly it is hard to keep up with. It used to be I could pay a lot more attention to it, especially with grants, but over the last couple of years, these activities have just skyrocketed. And frankly, Care South likes to apply for grants that we believe will impact and very positively on the health and well being in our community. So there's been a lot of opportunity that we didn't want to lose track of, or we didn't want to lose the opportunity. So programmatic responsibilities for those grants need to be in the hands of an executive management level person and that can keep all those programmatic things in line, so to speak, and making sure we're doing essentially what we said we were going to do. And that is a very, very big chore. For that, in this newly developed division of programmatic fidelity, we have hired a young man, Christian Barnes Young, who is no stranger to the PD. He's previously been the executive director over at Tri County Community Mental Health Center. They moved him into a growth slot with the central office of Department of Mental Health. He didn't like it and wants to come back to the PD and candidly told me he wanted to work at Care South. And we had been considering this development of programmatic fidelity, and it was like a perfect fit. So Christian Barnes Young has joined our team. He will be out and about over the next couple of weeks, so many of y'all will have a chance to meet him, welcome him to the Care South Carolina family, and he is going to be such a delightful addition, and I think is going to have a very, very positive impact, not only on programmatic fidelity, but also in the overall mission and vision of Care South. So join me in welcoming Christian Barnes Young to our family. Um, Many thanks to the Inclusion Council. They shepherded Black History Month and more recently Women's History Month with some amazing PowerPoint presentations, information, highlights, focuses, and so forth. And it was a real honor to be featured in their last segment of Women's History Month. It was an honor and it was very thought provoking, sharing some things that I'll bet many of y'all did not know about me. So thank you, Inclusion Council. You've done a wonderful job, and we really, really appreciate it. And by the way, that Bon Jovi song that I was trying to think of, it's called It's My Life, for those of you who watch that. So, going to talk about COVID a little bit. The big news in COVID is that boosters, the second booster, or in the case of the mRNA vaccines, the fourth shot, got approved this week. And we started giving them out on Thursday, and I was first in line to get my booster. Boosters are available for those that are 50 years and older, us old people, and also those who have certain are immunocompromised with certain conditions. Please get your booster. It is proving having the booster is very effective against preventing hospitalizations and death amongst those that contract COVID. Um, who gets the booster? So these are sort of the criteria. So it's 50 years and older. It's to those who first booster shot was at least 4 months ago. So if you had the Pfizer shot for that, consider getting the Moderna, the other mRNA. If you had the Moderna, consider getting the Pfizer. Just kind of swap it out. If you had J&J, consider now getting an mRNA, either the Pfizer or the Moderna. I really hope that y'all will take this to heart. Boosters are one of the greatest protections that we have. It may not prevent COVID, but for those of us who are fully boosted, it helps reduce hospitalization and death. So it's pretty important. And BA.2 is here. It's out. It's now the majority of cases across the United States. 55% of all cases are now the BA.2. It has a very high transmissible rate, so it's spreading pretty darn quick. In some counties, it has moved from now 30 and 40% up to 73% of the cases in just 1 week. So it is transmitting pretty quickly. It's not, or we don't seem to have a great presence of the BA.2 in South Carolina yet. So please be careful. All of our counties in South Carolina now are ranked low. They're all green. There's only 2 states in the South that are that way, and that's us and Florida. But we've got some pretty difficult times ahead of us. We've got spring breaks, a lot of travel going on, uh, and we still need to be careful. Remember, just because our counties are low doesn't mean you throw your mask away. As a matter of fact, when you read the CDC guidelines, it says real clearly those that are up to date on their vaccination. It doesn't say those who are fully vaccinated. Fully vaccinated means you've had either the 2 doses of mRNA or the 1 dose of Johnson and Johnson. Doesn't mean fully vaccinated doesn't mean that you've boosted. Up to date on your vaccinations does mean that you've been fully boosted. That's what CDC says. And they also say that if you have symptoms, and I know everybody is saying right now, well, I always get this runny nose or this cough or what have you during pollen season. And that is really unfortunate that we happen to be in pollen season right now because it masks, it covers up what could actually be symptoms of COVID. It doesn't take but 15, 20 minutes to do a test. We give away those home test kits. We've got plenty of them. Please test. Um, that is a very, very important act to take for yourself and for others so that you don't go to work or you don't go to church or you don't go out grocery shopping or what have you and really and truly have COVID. Get tested. It's easy, it's simple. Um, as long as we are talking about COVID, I want to remind everybody that masking has not been relaxed at Care South. We still have the same masking requirement in all areas. that service patients, all clinical type of work areas. In the administrative sites, you can go back to cloth mask. Administrative sites are locations where there is no patient contact. You can go back to cloth mask. And I know for a lot of people that's going to be a big relief. You're not going to have to use those KN95s, N95s, or the surgical mask. So that's going to be a really nice relief. I can't promise you how long that's going to continue, though. We don't know what BA.2 is doing, so we got to be flexible. And because of where we are right now, the break rooms have been opened. Can't promise you how long it can stay that way. We watch things on a weekly basis, make sure that we're up to date, and make sure that what we're doing ensures your safety, your well being, and the safety and well being of our patients. That is going to be first and foremost in all of our decisions. Speaking of that, stay safe over the weekend. We are still having a little bit of spring like weather. Enjoy it. I wish the wind would stop. I wish the pollen would go away. Um, get yourself a booster if you're eligible. My arm is sore a little bit, but I forgot to take Tylenol. So after you get your booster shot, remember to take your Tylenol. Remember to go get a Krispy Kreme donut. It'll make you feel better. Y'all have a very good one. Take care. Bye bye.